Welcome to the My Breakthrough Zone podcast show with your favorite host, Coach-Sybil Kears. We go live every Monday on the Boss Lady 101 Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Make sure you come through to get your breakthrough. Hey everybody, it's your favorite host, Coach-Sybil Kears. I have been nicknamed by one of my clients as the Breakthrough Coach, and I'm going to add a tagline because I have a holistic approach in the way I coach women. Listen, my Breakthrough Zone was originally created so that I can give some free coaching, live sessions via Facebook page, okay, and YouTube. And so many people have been blessed, and I'm just so grateful that I'm able to do what I do. It's fun, it's invigorating, but it's so rewarding when the people let me know that it was something that I said or done that helped them get a little further. And that's what coaching is all about. That's why it's such a passion of mine, okay? So nonetheless, for the last 4 weeks, we have covered certain topics that will help people who kind of have a difficult time getting started and getting going. So week 1, we talked about how to set appropriate goals. Week 2, we talked about making the decision to be more effective, meaning now that you set your goals, let's put a plan in action so that we won't lose that fire to keep going. We have to make that decision, and we talked about that. Then the third week, we talked about how to keep going. How to keep going. Because the truth of the matter is, you can set all the goals you want, you can make the decision to start, but it's a whole different topic when you're talking about getting going, when the going gets rough and you want to keep going, but it's more easier to just say, I'm gonna give up. So we got some encouragement there. And then last week we talked about revitalizing, revamping, revisiting, refluffing the goals. Because as time progressed, you should have been marking off some things from your to-do list, your tasks, your goals, right? And as you've done that, it may open up an opportunity for additional goals or for larger goals to have been accomplished. Because ultimately what we've learned is that when we have a large goal, it is much more feasible if we break them down into smaller, more attainable goals, and we accomplish them in steps, okay? And that helps us prevent from feeling overwhelmed when we're looking at such a big goal or task we may be aiming towards, right? So those were the last 4 weeks, okay? And then you rinse and recycle and do it all over again. So now we are going to kind of just take a moment where I'm going to discuss some exciting news that Boss Lady 101 coaching and consulting agency has put out there. And I'm so excited about this. But nonetheless, it is called the 30-day breakthrough journey. Guys, it's taking place on September 1st. It's going to be a 30-day journey. We'll meet 4 times in a group session. You'll have some accountability calls with me. We'll have a strategy call. You'll have access to my free ebook you'll be able to download after you register. Listen, it is absolutely necessary that you find your spot and get your place secured, because the seats are going fast. I'm only able to have a limited amount of seats because we reduced the price. We cut it in half. And for a limited time only, it's only going to be $99 to join this class. But the value that you are getting is well worth over $2,000 worth of content and information and things that I'm going to be sharing with those who register. So make sure you get your tickets. Make sure you're in the house. We're going to have a private group session. Won't be publicized on social media. However, if you were not able to make it, fear not. I'm going to make it available to you for the duration of the course. I'm going to make it available to you. So if you have scheduling conflicts and you're not able to meet when we meet, you will have access to the meeting, okay? So I just want to share something with you that will give you an idea of the things that we will be talking about in the 30-day breakthrough journey. And you should be seeing 4 things: mindset reset, spiritual empowerment, emotional intelligence, and financial literacy. Those 4 areas kind of give you a holistic approach, especially as a woman in today's day and age, where those four areas need to be working congruently. They need to be flowing and they need to be free. Okay. And so many women may find themselves not being free in one or more than one of these areas. And so that's what prompted us to come up with this particular journey, because it will help you get tools, resources, and various things to help you free up the flow of these areas. Okay. Because if the mind ain't right, then guess what? The body ain't right. If your spirit is downtrodden, it will affect your body. If you are not emotionally balanced, it will affect you physically. And if your finances ain't right, come on now, we know a lot of things will not be right, okay? Because ain't nothing funny about not having our money. So moving right along, I just want to kind of give a description of what these areas are. So what is mindset reset? So I kind of put together a compact way of describing these categories. But mindset reset is just what it sounds like. Sometimes we need to reset the way we think. Okay. We, since the time we were in grade school, growing up in our homes, whatever cultures we have, we've all developed a certain way of thinking, whether it's through traumas that we've endured or overcome or survived through, whatever it is, we all have a certain way of thinking. And it doesn't necessarily mean there's a blanket way for all of us to do. Everybody does their thing a little way different, right? But at the core of it all, what causes these thoughts, what causes us to have these thoughts, is some of the things that we will tap into. The basis of mindset reset is to unlearn some negative thinking, or I call it the stinking thinking, right? You may have heard that terminology before. Stinking thinking is basically anything that derives from self-doubt, that inner critic that we all have. Sometimes that inner critic is way louder than our rationale. Sometimes our inner critic will tell us everything we are not and point out every single flaw and emphasize it to the highest degree. And we don't know how to get past that. We start believing those negative things about ourselves and even those around us. Okay. And so having a mindset reset will help us unlearn those negative thinking patterns that tend to hold us back from reaching our full potential. Okay. It's like a resetting of the mind so that you'll learn to have an attitude of gratitude. That is key. Listen, get a pen and write that down. Having an attitude of gratitude is something that if you learn how to have, you will see how it opens up so many other things, okay? And I'm going to talk about my personal experiences and how I went from being on a losing team to the winning team. I'm going to give it all. I'm going to be transparent, but I'm going to show you what worked for me. And I want you to take it and make it work for you, okay? You'll feel refreshed, you'll feel revitalized, and you'll be able to open yourself up to receive all of the blessings and the abundance that has your name assigned to it. I'm telling you what I know, not what I heard, okay? So this mindset reset alone is valuable because some of my clients, that's all they really need. A lot of times they have all of these other areas kind of working for them, but mentally they have all these mental roadblocks, and it's simply a matter of looking at where you are and changing your perception, and how you operate will change, and the dynamics of what you receive will increase abundantly. Listen, I'm so excited about that. And now we got the spiritual empowerment. What is that? You'll learn how to remove toxic energy. See, toxic energy wears our spirit down, okay? I'm talking about when you have people around you that are toxic, when you are living through toxic circumstances, it affects you, okay? Listen, we soak in what's around us. So let me give you this analogy so you can kind of understand what I mean. If you have a boat, the boat is designed to float on the water, right? The water does it no harm as long as the boat is floating on it. But it's when the water gets inside the boat. Come on, somebody. It's when the water starts to get in the boat and it's too much that the boat begins to sink. The buoyancy of the boat changes. Some of us have allowed too much of what's going on around us to get soaked up into our spirits. And we operate in a manner in which we feel like we're drowning. It feels like that no matter what we do, we can't catch a break. That is wear and tear on your spirit. And so you will learn some tools and take advantage of some resources that will help you unload all of that water that's weighing you down so you can start floating again. Okay, we have past hurts and traumas that if we don't know how to appropriately identify and get the correct level of help that we need, because understand, listen, I'm not a therapist. However, there's nothing wrong with getting yourself a therapist if that's what it is needed. But the problem comes in is that we wear so many masks. Yes, with the pandemic, but I'm talking about the spiritual mask, the one that we hide behind, the one that we are not okay, but we say we are behind. Listen, I'm talking about that spiritual mask that we walk around like we got it all together. And we put on social media like everything is perfect, right? We have the perfect marriage. We have the perfect home. We got the perfect kids. But deep down inside, you don't. And keep on denying the fact that you're hurting. You can't heal if you don't acknowledge the hurt. So that's one thing we're going to help you do. Acknowledge the hurt, deal with it, process it so you can move on from it. I'm telling you, when you pack up the piano and leave out of there, you'll feel so lightened and elevated and feeling like you can just go a little further. Okay. Emotional intelligence. So many people don't know what this is. It's not about an IQ necessarily, but emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways. So many people lack emotional intelligence. I'll give you an example. I used to have road rage really badly. I would drive, and if someone did something that I didn't approve of while driving, it ruined my entire day. The entire time, my stress levels are raised. I'm upset. My driving patterns are a little more aggressive. I couldn't let go of what that person did. I kept replaying it in my mind. But what ultimately I did was I allowed that situation to control me emotionally. And as a result of that, I was the one stressed out. So whoever it was that cut me off, they were going on along their happy way, clueless about what I was feeling. And yet I held on to it emotionally. And it affected me physically and emotionally. Okay. And not being able to effectively communicate some of your emotions is also why people have a low level of emotional intelligence. Listen, you have to learn some things in order to know how to process some things. If someone can make you mad, they have control over you. I don't know if you ever heard it, but it is true. If someone can do something to you that sets you off, they controlled you. Because nothing that anyone does should be able to impact how you feel. Now, I'm not saying we don't get upset. I'm not saying we don't get angry. Yes, we feel those emotions, but the fact that you hold on to it, and every time you see that person, you feel that same level of anger or you feel that same level of discontentment, they are controlling you. Because they should not be a figment of your imagination, especially when you're trying to live a good life. What does it matter what they did? Did it take food off your table? Did it take any money out your pocket? Do they have any impact on your livelihood? No, unless you give them permission to do so. And so learning this aspect about emotional intelligence, people pay thousands of dollars to have coaches teach them how to master their emotional intelligence. And this course will give you the basics of what it means. What is it? And how can I get more of it? Okay. And lastly, we have financial literacy. We may have heard that term used. When I was financially illiterate, I didn't like it because the word illiterate, it made it seem like I was dumb. But the truth of the matter is, if you're not educated in something, then you are illiterate towards it, right? And so it is not a way to be derogatory, but it is a way to raise awareness. Okay, so many people are attempting to start new businesses, or they're attempting to do various things. New home buyers, with the recent way the market was, a lot of people were becoming first home buyers, and there's so many different things that people are doing with money. I mean, just living paycheck to paycheck in itself is a task. Knowing how to manage and balance your checkbook, and knowing what it means to have credit, good credit, bad credit, no credit, knowing how to manage your credit. All of these things is part of financial literacy. But one thing people don't always do, that they don't always know how to answer this question. What is your relationship with money? Yes, it is a relationship. You should have a relationship with your money. Okay. A very dear friend of mine, very intelligent woman, asked me that question. And I found myself pausing until I was able to fully understand. And then another powerful woman said this at one of our business meetings. She said, if you disrespect money, money will disrespect you. So, what does that mean? If you mismanage your money, that's a form of disrespect. If you work at a job and you have a poor manager who does not effectively manage you, don't you feel some kind of way towards that manager? Does it make you more or less productive? More than likely, it's going to be less. So if you don't know how to properly manage your money because you don't understand the gamut of how money works, it is more than just cashing a check and spending it on a debit card. It is more than just knowing how to count. It is more than knowing that you needed to spend. The full gamut of how money works is so deep. It is so vast. There is no way I'll be able to teach it all in this class, but you will have an eye opener to understand that the way you may understand money may not be the only way that it's meant to be understood. Okay. And it is very, very crucial that you understand about personal financial management, budgeting, and investing, because it's no longer acceptable to be financially illiterate. It is no longer okay, because now we have to raise up children. Now we have grandchildren. Now we have to show them what we know. And if you grew up in a certain era, what you were taught was to run from the bill collectors. Don't answer the phone call if the caller ID says 1-800. You were taught bad or negative financial habits instead of positive ones, okay? Our parents didn't know about some of these things that were readily available, and how to set us up for wealth, how to set us up at a young age. So when we got to mature age, we were already established. They didn't understand that. They knew, get an education, get a job, and do the best you can and save what you can. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying that ain't the only way. And there's so much more that people need to learn. And I've been teaching financial literacy for almost a decade. I'm a licensed financial professional. I learned through my own trials and errors, and I still don't know it all. I'm a proud investor. I love the fact that I understand how to invest and what compounding interest is. And I understand how to share this information with people. And so it is personally a passion of mine to get these 4 areas instilled in the women who will sit in this class, because I promise you, you will take from this and be able to help those around you. You will be able to take from this and better yourself. You will be able to take from this and get the fundamentals you need so that you can start seeing that, hey, when I first joined this class, I was this kind of way. My mindset was this kind of way. My spirit was this kind of way. My emotions were all over the place. My money was real funny. But now, 30 days later, after you got through the journey, you can actually find yourself being in a better position. And that's what it's all about. So I need your help. Spread the word. Let these women know that this is going to be available. They have all the way up until August 31st to get their seat. We have to be the change that we want to see around us. And the more we change for the good in us, the more we see better things happening around us. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. And that's why my clients love what I do. I'm literally using the gift that God gave me to help people have a different perspective, not only on life, but on themselves. And it's just amazing how a different perspective can change the trajectory of where you're going. Okay, so again, it's called the 30-Day Breakthrough Journey. We are on Eventbrite. We are on Facebook. I'll put a link below this my Breakthrough Zone episode, but I am super excited to see where you're going to end up after you are sitting with us for this 30-day journey, okay? But understand, everything we discuss is just for a holistic approach of you getting coached by the Breakthrough Coach, okay? Which is me, Coach-Sybil Kears. That's all I got for today. Thank you for spending this time with me. Hopefully, like I said, you are just as excited as I am. And listen, this is not it. We have other things coming on the horizon. We're kind of revamping the way we do our coaching program because we took inventory of our clients and we took consideration on what seems to work better. And we're not above change. We're not above learning. We're not above revamping because we're here for you. And you got to let us know what works for you so we can make it work for you. Get it? All right. And that's what we do. But I love what I do. I am excited for you. And when I see you in that class, just know that I'm here for and with you, the Breakthrough Coach with the holistic approach. Your favorite host, Coach-Sybil Kears. Much love and success. God bless.